make leadership issues. Most of the time, leadership play a more important role in our day-to-day activity among human race, like groups, ethnic groups, and cluster of people. Human leadership is very, very essential. The leader always have to evaluate the circumstances of the group and move according to what the group perception would be, or the group decision, or or what do you call identifying special qualities that will help the group to improve. Today I'm going to use someone as an example for leadership that I, Francis Nketia, have benefited from, and that has changed my life for a long time. When we were at Sekondi Ridge, Bangalore, there emerged a guy. His name was Augustus Mensah Wood. This guy used to work as a driver for NCC Civic Education, I think so. At regional office, he was a driver working over there. And we, the young guys, we play soccer at Sekondi Ridge near the waterworks area that we have created, a little park that we play all the time. So one day I was coming from school and he said, "Hey, what is your name?" And I said, "I'm from Nketia." So I see you like football, but I want to form a team. I thought he was joking. Okay, no problem. So with time, this guy started, I don't know how the team came about, but we all came together under his umbrella, Augustus Mensahwood. We came together under his umbrella and we started to organize ourselves. That was the period between 2000 and I think between 2000 and 2000, during the 2000s, because that time I finished my junior high school. So we started to form the team, and he was very instrumental in the leadership of the team, Sekondi Ridge. We had people like the metro coordinator. His name, if I could remember, his name was Clement Dandori. I remember in Kufuor's time. That metro coordinator, I know he's very, very familiar with him, Clement Dandori. That was the main person behind Augustus Mensah Wood. And we did a lot of things. And during some part of forming the team, Clement Dandori, he and the guy called Augustus Mensah Wood did a lot of things, and I would say emphatically that I benefited from it very, very, very well. And you can ask him if anybody know, his nickname was Uncle May. To cut long story short, let me go to the main point. Leadership is very important. So Augustus Mensah Wood formed the Rich Stars. It got to a point that we had people from Keten Barbacrum joining the Rich Stars. We got opportunities to play even the Sima team, White Fighters, and we went to a lot of places because we were forming a team. But the critical point that I want to stress is the leadership. So Augustus Mensah Wood formed the team for the first 3 years and everything was moving on, there rose an opposition within the team that he was spending money. Augustus Mensah was not the person using his money. He was being sponsored by other people like Clement Dandori and other people behind that I cannot mention their names. Even one time he invited Owusu Nkrumah in the inauguration of HIV awareness. I was part of it. But it got to a point that people rose against him, the leader who had the idea to form the Rich Stars. And believe me, one day after the Friday meeting, Augustus Mensah Wood's secretary and final whatever the guys resigned because there had been threats against them that some of the guys wanted to beat them up or something, so they resigned. And that's where I came into the picture. That night I was going home, and I think I had got home because sometimes we afraid that when our father come to meet us outside, he may be angry. So after the meeting, we rush home from Waterways back to our house. We were there, and he came, and May came over there. And Katia, impediment for my secretary. I was like, how can I be your secretary for what? I said, I want you to be my secretary. Oh, okay, no problem. I will be your secretary. So I became his secretary. And through the process, through that secretariatship for him, I realized there were certain people in the team who have no knowledge about what Ankeme, his vision was. So they were forming opposition against him because they had money, a little money. But those people didn't have the knowledge to form any organization. They had been part of the organization because of Ankemesa or Ankeme. So one day at the meeting, when everything went down and they were contesting the guy, I said in the meeting, this guy, they don't have the requisite and educational qualities to lead this team. It created a fight because I was in the meeting and a lot of people went out of the meeting. I didn't know why, because I've made my point. And all of a sudden, people rush the opposition force to the Red Stars, who were part of the team. They didn't understand that democracy was in play in the team. So they had gone well organized to come and attack me. So that made me even started punching some of them like that because I was very strong at that time. But me, when I was a little guy, I was fighting the old people because I was stronger. The kind of work I do, they cannot even do half of it. So I had but Augustus Mensah Wood was preventing me from attacking and saying, man, stay down, you up. But to cut long story short, leadership is very, very important. It got to, so after Augustus Mensah won the next one, and the subsequent years, we had chance because of him. He was lobbying leadership. He was of leadership. He was lobbying for other opportunities for the team. So I knew what he was doing. Going to see Clement Danduri, going to see some guy, 8 coordinator called in Tiamoa, a lot of the people, and because of the team and his leadership, I got to know how to do accounting, trained by Simon at the time, because of the 8 program, the money they gave to us to do the 8 program. I should be studying accounting and how to prepare accounting receipt and all that. You know what I mean? I got the chance to do that. At the time, the same team, through his leadership, I got the chance to be computer literate at that time. How many people at that time were computer literate in Ghana? I got the chance to be with Anke Mesa. He took me over there. That time, Owusu Ankuma has opened a computer training center at U Center. I was an NDC guy. I don't care, but I'm gonna say NDC guy. But I got to be computer literate at the time. How many people in Ghana got that thing? And I have a picture of me by what do you call this guy, metro coordinator, Philip Nkuma, giving me a certificate. I ask what do you call my uncle, Paminsa, who's an MPP guy. Asked him. I was there. Even because of Restars, Owusu Ankuma, who is the MP of Sekondi, came to Ridge for the first time to address us because of the soccer team. True leadership. True leadership. I got so many opportunities because of Augustus Mensah-Wood. People don't know that. Ask him how many times when I became his secretary, my father heckled him. He's taking his sons away from his house and we don't do the house chores. We're just following him. He was in our house so many times. Sometimes he stayed as much as 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. to discuss team vision with us so that we can support him. He even brought a lot of people into the team. Leadership is very, very important. Through Augustus Mensah-Wood, I got to know a lot about how government function, how the government function. Politics and me through him. He didn't teach me directly, but where he took me to several places to study, I was with him. Augustus Mensah-Wood, I never ever imagined that whatever I was doing would be very beneficiary to me at this time. I one time called him and said, thank you, man, for giving me that opportunity at that age. So leadership is very, very important. Guess what? When Augustus Mensah-Wood put his presidency down and moved on, and the other guys took over, those opposition in the team took over from him, guess what? It didn't even catch 6 months. The whole team collapsed. Because, why? Because the leader who had the vision, who had the knowledge to form an organization like that is no more. Therefore, people who were opposing him didn't even understand his vision and whatever he's doing, took over by force because they have money, confused everybody, and took over. It didn't catch any time. They didn't last. The thing all collapsed. That's the demise of the rich stars. Let me tell you, rich stars. I was the first time I came on television, GTV, is when Simon presented us the jersey. I was with the man, Augustus Mensah-Wood, to get that jersey for rich stars. I was there. Leadership. Leadership is very, very important. And I'm not lying about it. You should go and call Anke May. Ask him in Katia, Nanan Katia, Mr. Gordon Neba Nanan Katia, what role did he play with him at that age? Sometimes I was in St. John's. Second year, he would come for me. in St. John's and I'll go and train as an accountant in Sima. I left school, ran away from school to meet him in Sima several times to make programs. Ask him. When all hopes were down, he gave me a chance to follow him and to know what his vision was. That's why I supported him to the latest. When he left, I said, Uncle May, the my dear that way, this team has no future. I was in Kaja. I was saying, let me say, look, Uncle May, this Ngofinia, Koskulanko, we already the my dear, I didn't know what I say. I was saying, like, say, I tell you, when you leave, this society is dead. And it's true. You didn't even catch 6 months, everything. Pew. Kasa, nyansen yechi. Enfin, for Subiamba. And me, he was an action guy. I followed him every inch of the way. People even didn't be, because of us. I'm in Yanti, now Walipogui. Because of us. Because of Nanko Fujichi was through. Leadership is very, very important. But the point I want to make out of this is that Ghana, we are suffering today because of leadership. When somebody is doing the right things for the society to benefit, the enemy distort with money, confusing the whole public for them to follow him. And after the right leader leaves, then the suffering will come. This is how we are suffering now. Nana Addo, Adankwa Akufo-Addo. He's just bah. But to be a leader, Akufo-Addo is not a leader. He's behaving like a mafia. It's not good. Leadership is very, very important in our life. Without leadership, there will not be no mentor. Leadership evaluates the group's performance and makes sure the right things are done for the benefit of the future. So this guy who formed the Red Stars, Augustus Mensa Wood, to whom my eyes was open to so many unforeseen things. Leadership is very, very essential. Thank you.